This black Colorado rancher family, they got arrested in a fight to protect 1,000 acres. I heard they got like 600 acres from a campaign of harassment, vandalism, and murder. Racist campaign. They killed a guy. They killed a guy. They've been gutting their pigs. They've been driving around, shooting at them. Nonstop terrorism. And I can relate. I can relate. This is pretty much the exact same thing that happened to me in Costilla County. So the law enforcement El Paso County Sheriff's Office ignored Courtney and Nicole Mallory's complaints of racist abuse and harassment for years. For years. There's even a murder. There was a guy that was apparently in the chicken coop and he had got shot in the back of the head. And they mistook him for Courtney. Courtney is the guy, Nicole is the woman. So you have a black and a man and woman, a black man and woman, black married couple, black husband and wife. Think about 6 black Americans. You know, at first people in white America was afraid of Booker T. Washington. And then it was W.B. Du Bois. And then it was Martin Luther King. And then it was Malcolm X. But if you ignore all those black men, Frederick Douglass, you don't want black men to be eloquent speakers. You don't want black men to be hard workers. Booker T. Washington, black men. You don't want black men to be educated. You don't want black men to go into business. This is farming while black. Absolutely. This is farming while black. They lived around a bunch of racist pieces of shit, and then the racists started fucking doing their racist shit. Well, we wasn't harassing them. We were just sitting there pointing and doing and harassing them. Right. You nonstop. That's criminal. You can't go. And then they're brandishing firearms, driving by. Went down with his right-wing siren fucking movement. They're a bunch of racist piles of shit. And they're perverts. Just criminals, right? Birds of a feather flock together. When you're a goddamn racist piece of shit, why not be a fucking criminal on top of it? The owners of Freedom Acres Ranch face felony charges of stalking, petty theft, and tampering with the utility meter. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. So when the people that's harassing them, right, they'll do it 100 fucking times, and maybe they know the cops, maybe they don't. But if they did know the cops, then the cops are probably like, oh, well, that's fine. Oh, you was just driving around investigating? Well, you're okay. You could do a little investigation. Yeah, how many times you going to drive by and do this little integrity check? Did you ever once, for a second, assume that what Courtney and Mallory were saying was true? Courtney and Mallory? No, Courtney and Nicole. For once, Courtney and Nicole, did you even assume that what they were saying was true? Did you stay right on their front porch for an hour, for a day or two, and see what they were seeing? Look at the situation from their vantage point. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Talk about victims' rights. Here in Colorado, we got victims' rights. We had a big old problem with victims' rights. You had these DAs. They don't give a shit about victims. Goddamn Robert Willett didn't give a shit about victims. Alonzo Payne didn't give a shit about victims' rights. And it's starting to look like Patrice and Ann Kelly don't give a shit about victims' rights either. Oh, you just want to play lawyer? You just want to play court, huh? And if you're playing court, I guess you're going to need some big criminal in a cop uniform to go around doing your dirty work for you, huh? So if they're not willing to, Alonzo Payne wasn't going to arrest any of those people that were sitting there harassing. The DA isn't going to, he's a little tiny, but he was going to be a real jerk to me. Well, you want me to be merciful? I will never be merciful. So you were cool, and then at the end you weren't cool anymore? What the hell, man? You're like the worst goddamn concoction of, he gives all the Nazis a break, and then the one that championed him the most, he fucked over. I'm looking for victims' rights. Victims' rights is, you have a right to the report. You have a right to the... Why don't I have the victims' rights right in front of me? So, I don't know where the fucking victims' rights are, but they're here somewhere, okay? Victims' rights are, in Colorado, they're constitutional. And so, just like when you go to court, You have a right to sit in a safe area in court. Let's see here. Here we go. The right to be informed about the possibility of restorative justice practices. So my spidey senses is telling me, because I got the victims' rights right here. So when Courtney and Nicole Mallory called the law, they are the presumed victim. And so you're trying to tell me that the sheriff's office told Courtney and Nicole Mallory that they had a right to be informed about the possibility of restorative justice practices? Did they even mention restorative justice? That's 24 4.1 302.5 L.5. The right to be informed about these 7 random things. Complaint summons warrant filed by the probation department doesn't, change of venue or release from the probation supervisor. The right to be informed to file a civil suit after a criminal conviction. Did they mention that to him? You could pursue civil options if the cops aren't. The right to be informed if the convicted is released on parole or release. The right to money damages, restitution in some cases. The right to view the pre-sentence report. The right to be informed of the final disposition of the case. The right to consult with prosecution prior to a disposition and prior to the trial of a case. So he's going to go to court and he's going to go testify. So therefore, you have to keep talking to him. You got to keep talking to him. He wants to press charges and he wants to testify. That's what a cop should ask those questions. If a person isn't even willing to testify, then why should you believe them? If they're willing to go to court and testify under oath, the right to be informed of and attend essentially all the hearings. If you're a victim or related to the victim, if you're part of their estate or something, or if you're somehow, because they were a victim, you were a victim, you get to go to most all the hearings at the courthouse. You have, Alamosa, Conejos, Costilla, Archuleta way over there, Swatch, Mineral County, Rio Grande County, they all got courthouses. And when the judge is in session, the victim has a right to be heard. And that's absolutely true with anybody. Oh, you were just raped and murdered and they gutted your animals and they shot they killed the fucking guy. There's a death, there's a dead body. Hold on. No, they should say, okay, well, we want to hear what you got to say, testify. If I'm the judge in that outfit, okay, I don't know exactly what's going on. I know something's going on. So you get the testimony. Raise your right hand. And here, I got a couple questions for you. Just a couple general probing questions. But you have the 10-step criminal procedure. So if you're the victim and they arrest the person, then that means you get to go to, the arrest or the summons or the bail bond hearing. Well, not the arrest or summons. Well, maybe. I don't know. The summons, you get to be at the hearings. You get to be at all the hearings. So I would assume you get to be at the arrest. It's just that, there's moving parts there. But the summons, the bail bond hearing, all the court hearings, advisement of charges, preliminary hearing, dispositional hearing, arraignment, motions hearing, pretrial readiness conference, jury trial, sentencing. If you're the alleged victim, you get to go to each one of those steps. And if you're the alleged culprit, you get each one of those steps before you're sentenced. If you're sentenced. Here's some other hearings. The right to be informed of a criminal protection order upon written request. The right to attend a tampering with evidence hearing. 2431-9022C. The right to attend an attack on judgment or conviction hearing. The right to attend a preservation of DNA evidence hearing, the right to attend post-conviction DNA test hearing, the right to attend probation revocation hearings, the right to attend any parole application hearing and full parole review, any termination of sex offender registration hearings, offender executions, the right to attend a sealing of records hearing, and any parole or parole revocation hearing. So essentially, it says you have a right to be at any hearing, but it says any of these hearings, and it's got a colon, and then it lists like 100 hearings. So you could be rest assured that most nearly any of the hearings, and if they're doing something else, they'll deal with you afterwards. Give them the hour or whatever, but they should take in complaints. The criminal justice system begins when there's a criminal and he criminalizes a person. Say that Mr. Camo Jacket Man, Mr. Camo Jacket Gangsta Wannabe Man, he stole shit from that fucking grocery store. That grocery store are the victims. The clerk And the customers, frankly, the clerk and the owners and the corporation, so that clerk and the owner of the grocery store in Antonito who got robbed, they have a right to be free from intimidation, harassment, and abuse. They've walked right in and took a whole bunch of money, walked right in and stole a whole bunch of money. They have a right to be free from intimidation, harassment, and abuse. So that means there should be at least a cop that's posted up right in front of that damn grocery store for the first couple days so they don't come right back. They just going to double back? My God, are the cops doing anything? The right to be heard by phone, in person, by text, by email. This is interesting. By U.S. mail, by handwritten notes. You have a right to be heard. So let's assume you can't get to the courthouse and you can't get to any of the hearings. And if I'm the judge, just swear that you said that you saw the thing. Did you bring any evidence? Do you have any photos? Do you have any videotape? I want to know what's going on because I want to be a fair judge. And me being ignorant isn't going to help me be fair. I need to be in the know. I need to know what you know, and I need to know what that other person or people know. But when you had Courtney and Nicole Mallory that was getting harassed over and over again, they're willing to testify, but they're supposed to go to court and file all this shit. But when they go to court, then they're leaving their land open for any of the damn people to do whatever the hell they want to do. But guess what? You don't have to leave your land. You don't have to leave, you might need to go to it once or twice or something, but ultimately you have a right to be heard by phone, in person, by text, by email, by U.S. mail, by handwritten notes anyway. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, virtually, audio, visual, however you can be heard. Shout it out loud. Have goddamn motherfucking smoke signals. You have a right to be heard. And if you're being terrorized and you're not able to get to the courthouse, and so if you go to the courthouse to file a complaint and then they're raping your fucking family, fuck you motherfuckers. Who the fuck are you sons of bitches? Because all they had to do, Courtney and Nicole Mallory, was to just call it in. Okay, well, we need a little bit more than that. Can you write it down? Okay, can we interview you? Okay, so you're getting videotaped interviews. You're getting a handwritten fucking their testimony. You're getting evidence. You're building up some case. And the case is, a lot of people just want to pick the winners and the losers from the beginning. But what if it's not clear who the winner and who the culprit and who the victim is? Then you need to get to the truth. And the truth is just like cheese curdling, right? You just want it all to curdle up to the top. The right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity. Man, just give me the right to be free from intimidation, harassment, and abuse. It'd be nice to have fairness, respect, and dignity. Hello, Mr. Sir. Hello, Mrs. Ma'am. Thank you. Have a nice day. That's manners. That'd be nice to live in a nice, fair, respectful, and dignified fucking world. But I'm just basically be free from intimidation, harassment, and abuse. That's not just victims' rights. Those are crimes. So you should be free from all those things. The cops should be enforcing. You should be free from crime. You have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I met a cop that he didn't understand what I meant when I said you don't have a right to. I said you have a right to be free from crime. No, you don't. What's your job again? What the fuck? The right to be informed by the local police, the sheriff and his deputies. So every time Courtney and Nicole Mallory would call about the status of their case and the time of the next court appearance, they got to tell them. You got to tell them their basic needs. Now, could they abuse that? Could they call like every other day? Sure. But if they just call out of the blue, I mean, a lot of times these motherfuckers are just fucking assholes right from the get-go. Right out of the fucking gate, they're fucking assholes. They're trying to rape your fucking life out of you. They're trying to rape your fucking family, In the Wild West, a lot of people like to pretend, get all romantic with the Wild West. But yet, when somebody gets shot in the back, I don't see no fucking cowboys going after the motherfucker that did it. But there's some things about the Wild West that you had a bunch of outlaws that wanted you to get off your land claim. Sure, that's your land. Sure, that's legitimately your land. But you're a competitor. You're a competitor for resources. And in their minds, only they can do the farming around there. Only they can raise the pumpkins and sell the pumpkins to the local grocery store because that's their business model. If you're going to raise pumpkins and their business model is out the door, they're going to have to figure out something else. The right to be provided with a secure waiting area at the courthouse to not be seen or avoid being in close proximity to the right to receive one's property back if the police had took it for evidence reasons. The right to receive the initial incident report from the police, which establishes at a minimum the victim's name, the offender's name, the date of the crime, the charges, and a summary of the incident. So the right to receive the initial incident report from the police. So did you want to file charges and they didn't do it? They did file. So there's initial incident report. Both the culprit and, the alleged culprit and the alleged victim should be able to get the initial incident report. And so what these Wild West motherfuckers, they're criminal fucks. They want to steal your house. They want to steal your boards. They want to steal your cows. They fucking gutted one of his pigs. I mean, they killed a fucking guy. God, the way that I keep on hearing more and more crazy shit about this thing. Let's see. 2 years of restraining orders, pictures, mutilated animals, and vandalism. For 2 years, restraining orders. So they tried. They tried to do a restraining order. They went to the courthouse. And then they didn't give a shit. It was just a piece of paper. And then they just got one of their cousins to do the harassing. And then they was just right there in the background too. And then it's just your word versus his. No, there's videotape evidence. Oh, well, now what? If there's videotape, you can't argue with videotape. You can't argue with photos. You can try to argue with people's eyewitness testimonies, but generally people don't lie. You got cognitive dissonance. Couple's real crime seems to be owning something that ruthless white people wanted. Courtney and Nicole hope for a fresh start. They lost everything in Hurricane Harvey in 2020. They just hope to survive owning the land they refused to lease or sell to the white neighbors. Racists tried to erase America's oppressive history, and they're repeating it right in front of us. Yeah, you don't want to learn critical race theory. You don't like Black Lives Matter because you're a bunch of racist piles of shit. They want to steal their boards. They want to steal their fucking house. They want to steal their land. They want to steal their claim. They want to intimidate and harass them off their fucking land. And maybe they want to take their land or use their land. We liked our goats walking on your land. But since you bought that property, our goats can't walk on your land no more. Can I buy a goat? No. Noble Haven said, oh, they'll steal them. Oh, I can't get a goat because they'll steal them. Who's they, Noble Havens? Huh? You ain't noble. You don't offer any kind of haven. They'll steal them? You're a cop. Shouldn't you be concerned about people stealing? Thou shalt not steal. That's a crime in motherfucking Colorado. Don't ask Noble Havens that. He'll fuck up the whole situation. He'll fuck up the whole fucking situation and make your situation a million times worse. It's like the cops don't even want anybody to support them. It's almost like the cops are trying to get you to join a gang. That's actually what Keith Schultz says. Keith Schultz says, if you can't beat them, join them. Oh, I'm supposed to join the Bloods and the Crips and the Cineola and MS-13? Thanks, cops. Sure appreciate your help. All I wanted you to do is just sit right out there and see what I'm seeing. And then when you see the crime, then to go do something about the crime. But you couldn't do that, could you? You did harass me. How stupid, too. Part of me thought that they were just doing these dumb little harassment things on me just to get me to call the police. And then eventually, since we live in a police state, the cops would start harassing me, and then that would fuck me over. And so when it happens, right, somebody drives here, and then they shoot fucking 13 shots. Oh, I'm paying attention. I'm watching. I know it fucking happened. You guys will deny that it happened because you don't want to give a shit, and you're evil motherfuckers. So, and what do, right? You have to stand up and be a good person, be a friend. So I think it's stupid. I could survive the fucking attack. I could survive the fucking felony menacing. Pop, 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 pop. 13 shots up in the air. They go over there. But I know it's dumb. I know it's stupid. I survived the fucking crime. But then when I call the cop, then the cop is harassing me over some dumb fucking shit. Well, the mailbox is, the lid is open to your mailbox, and that's not a... Fuck you, you piece of shit. There's real major fucking crimes that's going around, and you're such a punk-ass bitch that you're going to sit there and rape Anne Frank, throw Anne Frank into a concentration camp, make sure Anne Frank catches syphilis, make sure Anne Frank isn't allowed to goddamn live. I want a justice system that protects the Frederick Douglasses and protects the Fred Hamptons and protects the J.C. Dugards and the Anne Franks of the world. Not someone who coddles the slave owners and the Nazi fucking criminal fucks. Being committed to goodness, there's some red lines that I've just never dared to even think about crossing. Being a fucking sovereign, being a criminal, being a fucking terrorist. So, yeah. Cops have got to get their shit together because you're not protecting... I believe that there is racism involved. But that doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. Oh, here's some dead animals. This is what's actually going to get the DA, Alonzo Payne, around here kicked. Oh, my God. Is that a little baby goat? How'd they kill that little baby goat? I remember when they ran over my puppy. I laid him on a mattress. R.I.P. little baby goat. And then what is this? Are they poisoned? Is that a cow with his... And then they talked about the hogs being... It was sliced. Their bellies were sliced so their entrails came out. That's fucking gruesome. That's fucking gruesome. You know, some people could just like shake their fist as they drive past you. Oh, you son of a bitch! And that's bullshit. That's harassment, and that's illegal too. If you're a police officer, you think a cop would fucking tolerate any of this dumb little shit? But my God, look at the major. They split that fucking... I think that's what that picture is of a cow with its insides. They had, I read a report, so I know that had happened, even if that's not a picture of that. But R.I.P. to this little baby goat. Baby goat didn't even get a chance to be bigger. And what did it die of? Antifreeze or something in the water? Fucking motherfuckers. These racists go above and beyond, don't they? America is supposed to be about freedom, but some motherfuckers think freedom means I have a right to control you. Freedom means I get to run your life and take everything you got and be a criminal, terrorist, sovereign piece of fucking shit. No, it doesn't. Fuck a criminal, terrorist, sovereign piece of shit. If you can't beat them, join them. Thanks a lot, Costilla County Sheriff's Department. If you can't beat them, join them. That's what I get for being a good citizen who reported all the fucking crimes. That's what I get for not going around criminalizing people. That's what I fucking get for being like Jesus and turning the other cheek. We need more Jesus Christ and less fucking Pontius Pilates. Oh, you're an oppressor molester and you take all of our fucking tax money and you don't give a shit for our safety? They say someone murdered their ranch hand, Donaciano Amaya. They got no local recourse because Gerhardt is married to Judge Shannon Gerhardt. The Mallorys at Freedom Acres Ranch in El Paso County, Colorado have faced intense harassment. So, and, you know, there's been a murder at Freedom Acres. I love these people. I love these people. Let me give you a picture of one or the other. Here you go. Seems like a nice fucking... He's got a nice, gentle face. He don't want to harm nobody. What are you afraid of, his black skin? Well, what are you afraid of, you piece of shit? You're afraid of your fucking self, motherfucker. To all you white supremacists out there, whatever the black man is, that's exactly what you are. You're the exact same. You ain't no fucking better. In fact, this is original African man. You're a mutated albino. You're a polar bear, you hold your own. But this is original man. He's got a kind face. He just wants to farm and work. You can't appreciate that, a working farmer? What the fuck is the matter with you pieces of shit? All them fucking years, all them times y'all complain about fucking welfare and shit. You don't like Malcolm X saying, hey, we need to defend ourselves. You don't like Martin Luther King saying, hey, we need to integrate with America. You don't like Frederick Douglass sitting there orating and saying, I'm a, elegant orator and I speak eloquently about freedom. You didn't like W.E.B. Du Bois writing books and giving his opinions. You didn't like Booker T. Washington saying we need to work. My God, if you didn't even like Booker T. Washington, you're asking for the fucking gangs. You're asking for the gangs. You're asking for Tupac and Tookie Williams. You're asking for Tookie Williams. You rejected Frederick Douglass. You rejected Malcolm X. You rejected Martin. You rejected all these nonviolent people. All these good, dignified, civilized, nonviolent people. You rejected them all. Because you're white America and you're white supremacists and you're insecure and you're afraid. But you're afraid of your own goddamn shadows. And just because you're fucking insecure and afraid of every fucking thing doesn't mean that other people have done anything. I wouldn't mind this man being my neighbor. I think he would be a great fucking neighbor. You know, at the very least, I think he'd mind his own business, and at the very most, if I needed a ride to the hospital or some shit, I think he would do it. So, you know, victims' rights goes two ways. It's just with my own experiences, you call a dozen times, and they didn't do a fucking thing, and then one of their buddies, and maybe it was their buddies the whole fucking time. Maybe it was their whole buddies the whole fucking time doing it. They're going to protect me from intimidation, harassment, abuse. They're the ones doing the intimidation, harassment, and abuse. Some of those that run forces are the same that burn crosses. So how deep is the racism in the police force in El Paso County? The right to be free from intimidation, harassment, and abuse. That's a good victim's right. That's also against Colorado Code. Intimidation, harassment, and abuse, those are all crimes. You can't harass people. You can't abuse people. You can't go around intimidating people. If you want to try to persuade them, if you want to try to influence them, but that's it. You can only influence and persuade, and get the fuck on with your motherfucker self, motherfucker. Nah, fuck the fuck off, you piece of shit. You're trying to harass, abuse, or intimidate? I'm tired of you fucking criminal motherfuckers. I'm trying to raise a goddamn family in a nice community, in a nice society. And y'all want to just go around goddamn motherfucking committing crimes? One of them motherfuckers, when I was sitting there talking about a community meeting, I don't care about that. Yeah, I know that, you racist son of a bitch. That was Robert Pickerel. He don't give a shit about no community fucking meetings. He's not for the fucking community. He's there to rape every fucking person. And everybody. And so far the police never even fucking interviewed him. Not even one time. And Robert Pickerel, you're invited to, court in April. Actually, I got 3 questions for you, Robert Pickerel. Were you ever in compliance with planning and zoning? Are you a part of the right-wing sovereign movement? You're a devil worshiper. To what extent does that mean? How does that play in real life? You're a devil worshiper, so when you worship the devil, is that why you go around hurting people? Raping everybody out of their lives and their families and their properties? Oh, you wanted these boards? Oh, you wanted this house? Oh, you wanted this land? And you're a piece of shit. Well, then fucking shit. Let the piece of shit criminals have it. Well, I mean, he's a piece of shit. I mean, he's a criminal. He gets to have all the fucking rights. Meanwhile, I'm thinking I have a right to speak and a right to peacefully assemble and all this other shit, and they're criminalizing motherfuckers. You don't have a right to do anything to other people. You have all the freedom in the world until you infringe on other people's freedoms. And whatever freedom you take for yourself, you got to give to other fucking people. That's just political philosophy, political liberty, political equality 101. Fucking shit. So that murder was actually one of the most fucked up shit. I just wanted to say something. I'll talk more about it later on. Maybe get a picture of the guy that was fucking shot and killed, because that was fucking bullshit. Victims' rights can go both ways, because everybody's the alleged victim, right? You're innocent until proven guilty, so everybody's the alleged criminal, the alleged victim, until they're convicted in a court of law. But ultimately, everybody has rights. Everybody has rights. You have a right to be free from crime, and when you're the victim, that's when the cops are supposed to stand up. I don't want to be a victim. I would love to just go out there and handle the damn thing myself. So when the cops are sitting there telling me, if you can't beat him, join him, I'm not going to be a white supremacist piece of shit. But if they feel liberated enough to not only not do their own thing, but to stop other people from doing their own fucking thing, then I should be liberated enough to get them to back off so I can... No, I'm teaching my kids how to ride a horse today. No, I don't need you driving by shooting, and I don't need you murdering I don't need you gutting my pet. I don't need you shooting help in the chicken coop. No, my kids are going to ride horses, and they don't need all this extra fucking without safety, they don't have the freedom to be free. I want a free society, not a criminal society. So hopefully they get, hopefully they win their fight. I hope I'm on the side of Courtney and Nicole Mallory and fuck those other, who's the other fucking people?